All right, 45. Fascinating. Okay. Interesting. Wait, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, there has to be two spaces somewhere. Okay, okay. Yeah, for a second there I was like, wait a second. And then I was like, no, those are walls, not spaces. I'm still good. I know there has to be one somewhere in here. Has to be one in here. Has to be one in here. Definitely. Actually, I know because there's only one. There has to be one in here. Okay. I don't know why there would only be one in this row. Or ones in these columns. But there's 6 in here. So this means there's a lot of like straight lines up and down. There's a lot of them. But it's kind of weird because there's only one star, which means there has to be a path to the star. Because there has to be 2 spaces and 4 spaces respectively. I know 1 space is consumed here. Most technically speaking, yeah, there's no. Okay. This is going to get complicated. Well, okay, yeah. I'm still on the right path. There's no. Honestly, I think it's likely that there would be a space all down here. I think that's very likely, actually. But I'm not going to operate off of that assumption. I know there has to be a wall in here, though. This is a hard rule, because that bomb can't hit this star. Yeah, that can't be possible. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Assuming that is open. No, actually, if that's the case, then I know that has to be closed. If that is the way I'm thinking about it. Oh. That can't be correct. Because if I go this way, I block this off, which then forces this to come this way, which then forces. Because there has to be a path out. No matter what, there has to be a path. And this one needs to be able to escape somehow. So I think did that. No, I don't think. Because I know that, actually, that's a really obvious one I should have just done. There we go. That does simplify the process a little bit. The question is then, are these open spots? Could focus around solving this process here. But I need a vertical. I need at least one or two verticals in this. Because if I go this, then these are forced to go this way, which forces this. No, because this can't come down this way. Actually, I know for a fact that this has to be blocked. Yeah, this has to be blocked, which means this cannot be the route out, which means these have to be open. The question is, does this exit this way, which I don't think is likely. So this likely has to have a block in it as well, which forces that to be open. Looking at that then, I know that this is closed. Yep, which then forces that to be open. This also has to be all open. Okay. I have now 1, 2. I also know as this has to be an egress route, that has to be open. And because this has to be, yeah, so that also has to be open, which forces then all this to be like that. Okay. Now that I've eliminated all this, let us proceed on to the next part. I know this then has to be open. So can't do anything there. This also has an open spot. I don't necessarily have an answer yet on which one of these is likely going to be my process, so I don't need to worry about that yet. One spot. I think this would make a lot of sense to be the one, but I don't have a necessary answer to that because it could also be over here. So I'm going to ignore that. Let's see if I can figure out here. I have 2 spots, which means this is likely this way, which then creates this being this way, meaning this was not the solution. And it actually means I no longer have to worry about this. I also know this then is also a likely solution, forcing this then to work this way. Okay, I've now reduced this pretty extensively. There are 2 here, which makes that forced solution. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, which forces this then to be this solution. Considering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means that there is still 1 in this row. It is likely this one, but I don't have that confirmed, so I'm not going to force that. 1, 2, 3. There are too many in this. None of these are necessarily forced to be this way or this way. It's most likely this goes this way, with that being that way. Yeah, I think I have a strong. And then there we go. Solution.